So the first thing I'd like to talk about before I get into the Bruins fan review is that we as Bruins fans should all be worried about the status of the health of Patrice Bergeron because I went out to eat before the game with my dad and I was just sitting there, eating my hot wings and all that. And I look on the TV and I see Patrice Bergeron will not play in Game 3 for the Boston Bruins. And immediately I'm thinking, wow, Austin Matthews is about to get 7 goals. You thought his 4-goal performance on his opening debut last season was impressive. You're going to be blown away tonight with the free reign he's going to get after he looked alive in Game 3. I was really coming into this after hearing Bergeron's out thinking this is probably where Austin Matthews takes over and wins the game for the Leafs. But let's just say didn't happen for them, and I'm happy it didn't happen for them. So we hop into the game. Riley Nash taking over the first line duties as he did for most of the last month of the season when Bergeron was out with his foot injury. And about 28 seconds in, we get the puck in the Leafs zone. Krug shoots it, and somehow this puck finds the back of the net. 28 seconds in. Now this is a huge deal because so far in the series, every team that has scored the first goal has won their games. So getting the first goal, I'm pretty sure it's it's got to be 67% of the time, I think it is, the team that scores first wins. And this is huge because also we're at the Air Canada Center. It really kills their crowd early and really takes them out of the game. And you'll notice that as the game went on even further, the Leafs crowd kind of got dead compared to Game 3 when they were always in the game. They were always pushing the pace against us. They kind of outplayed us a little for a decent portion of that game. But now that they were down early, you really felt the crowd being taken out. And once that happens with a young team like the Leafs are, momentum swings in your favor majorly, especially when you got more of a veteran-led group like the Bruins have. Because even though we have a ton of young talent, the Bruins also have a great leadership core. So 6 minutes into the first period, David Krejci has a puck going towards Char's point. He passes it to Char. Weak pass, bad pass, gets picked by Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner throws it off the boards and around Char, and he beats Char with his speed, and plus Char is caught off guard. This creates a 2-on-1 with Mitch Marner and Patrick Marleau against Charlie McAvoy. Now, this same type of situation led to 2 goals in Game 3. I was there. I saw both of them. And I was a little worried. I saw this. I was like, again, this same combo again. McAvoy does a good job taking away the shot from Mitch Marner, leaving him with only a pass, and it's a tough pass to make. But Mitch Marner is a very dynamic player, and he gets it across to Patrick Marleau. And Marleau gets stuffed by Tuukka Rask. Now, Tuukka Rask kind of had the option to cheat on this one because of how well McAvoy did taking away the shot. Great play by McAvoy, great save by Tuukka, and you had a feeling when you saw this save that the game was going to go the Bruins' way a little bit tonight. So 2 minutes later, Riley Nash, we get the puck on the boards in the Bruins zone. Mitch Marner, again, Mitch Marner. This kid's dynamic. He's been the Leafs' best player of the series by far. He comes in, does a nice little stick check on Nash, and gets the puck off Riley Nash. He falls, but as he's falling, he gets just enough force on his pass to get it to Plekanec in the slot. And Plekanec goes top left, blocker side on Tuukka Rask. Of all guys, it had to be Thomas Plekanec. Something about Thomas Plekanec I just always haven't liked. He's been a Hab, now he's a Leaf. He's just always been a thorn in our side, and he gets a goal for the Leafs here, and that makes the game 1-1 around the halfway mark of the first period. So exiting the first period, I thought the Leafs looked like the better team, but at home ice, usually the first period is the home team's period in a game where they lose. That's usually how it goes. Usually they come out, they play good in the first, and then they fall a little as they go on through the second and third, depending on how the course of the game is going. Now, the Leafs tied 1-1. They're playing better than the Bruins, but it's not by much to the point where you really look and you're they're getting outplayed. But I will give the nod to the Leafs in this period and say the Leafs were the better team in the first period, but the scoreboard doesn't show it because it's just 1-1. So 20 seconds into the second period, Tuukka Rask goes behind his net to play the puck. He does not play it well. It kind of hits off his stick, or he kind of fans on it. It goes right in front of the net. Patrick Marleau gets it on his backhand. He tries shooting it, but Tuukka, out of nowhere, makes a diving save. And, goalies can make stupid mistakes like this that lead to goals. And then you forget about them if they make a great save on a recovery play like this. So good on Tuukka there, but bad to make that play even happen in the first place. So 3 minutes later, Dominic Moore and Andreas Johnson get a 2-on-1 against Charlie McAvoy. Now, instead of passing this one like a lot of people will do, Dominic Moore decided to do what no one expected, and he decided to take a shot. Except one guy was expecting, and that man's Tuukka Rask. He stays calm, stays composed, glove up in there, and snags it out of the air. Great save by Tuukka. So midway point through the second period, Torrey Krug takes a shot from the point, blocked by Morgan Rielly. Morgan Rielly settles the puck down, looks up the ice, and sees Mitch Marner streaking. And Mitch Marner's been a scary player all series against the Bruins. So Morgan Rielly with a stretch pass, beautiful pass by Morgan Rielly to Mitch Marner, creates a one-on-one, or one-on-no-one except for Rask. And because he's being pressured from behind, Mitch Marner has to elect to shoot instead of doing like a deke move like he probably would do. And if Mitch Marner gets the hands in motion, it's very bad for anyone facing Mitch Marner. But he has to elect to shoot because of the pressure from behind. And Tuukka Rask with the blocker save. And Tuukka with a third huge save in a short time span. Tuukka was money tonight. He really was. Great save by Tuukka. Really kept us in the game. Without Tuukka Rask, we could be talking about a Leafs victory and going back to Boston tied 2-2. So 4 minutes left in the second period. David Pastrnak on the boards, being pressured at the blue line. Throws it across the ice to Marchand, who has an angle to enter into the zone. Has Morgan Rielly to beat. He does a spinorama. This is a filthy move. Makes Morgan Rielly look like a trash can. And he tries to go top shelf, but sadly, he goes over. Looks like Rich Peverley back in the day. High glass behind Frederik Andersen. So around a minute or two later, Riley Nash on the offensive faceoff wins it to the side next to the wing. The wing kind of hits it down to McQuaid, or it hits off the boards and gets to McQuaid. McQuaid realizes Post is cheating a little on the play and throws up the board. Jake Gardiner, who's not in a good position already, he doesn't really move off the faceoff. He's just kind of like frozen at the blue line. Doesn't make a good play on the puck, and Pasta chips it by him and beats him. So this creates a 2-on-1 with Brad Marchand and Pastrnak with the puck against Nikita Zaitsev. Now, Nikita Zaitsev lays down to take down the pass, but it doesn't matter because David Pastrnak is passing this anyway. And Frederik Andersen overcommits to the pass to the point where Marchand gets the puck. He basically has an empty net to go on, and Frederik Andersen dives across to try to stop it like he did late in Game 3 with the amazing stick save. He almost actually gets this one. This one is insane. If you watch the replay, he's very close to hitting this one with his stick as well. But just too much open net, and Marchand hits all of it. And the Bruins would go up 2-1 here, and as a Bruins fan, I was starting to feel real good because we're playing a defensive game, letting the Leafs bring the game to us, but we weren't giving them quality chances at this point. In the beginning part of this period, we were giving them plenty of quality chances, but we were starting to cut back on it and starting to play a better defensive brand of hockey, unlike we were in the first half of this period. So the period comes to the end. The Bruins are up 2-1, but I still feel like the Leafs are kind of outplaying us, which this is a very fortunate position to be in as a road team, to be being outplayed but still have a win, because that means the other team in the other locker room in between the intermission is probably becoming discouraged. And if you come out and have an okay third period and they come out with no gas, you don't have to be great to beat a team like that gets discouraged, because if they don't believe, they're not really going to win. I think that's what kind of happened here. So 4 minutes into the third period, Travis Dermott makes a pinch on the boards. He tries to hit the puck, but Krejci makes a great defensive play, hits off Krejci, and the momentum of Krejci coming at Dermott creates a 2-on-1 with Jake DeBrusk. Now, I'm pretty sure this one is Roman Polak, and he lays out to take away the pass. And again, another Leafs player playing the pass, but not taking away the pass. Krejci sauces it, beautiful saucer pass over Roman Polak's stick, hits up Jake DeBrusk. Frederik Andersen lunges over, and the patience of Jake DeBrusk here is key. So he waits, Frederik Andersen dives, falls, and as he's falling, Jake DeBrusk waits until he falls low enough so he can snipe it top shelf, because there's just a better chance of him when he waits of beating Frederik Andersen than shooting at him when Frederik's like that, because there's just so much more net when Frederik gets to the ground, like closer to the ground. So Jake DeBrusk, rookie but veteran-like instinct on this shot, waiting out Frederik Andersen. He beats him top shelf, and the Bruins go up 3-1 on the Leafs home ice, and you really feel like we're about to go up 3-1 in the series, take it back to Boston, and hopefully beat them in Game 5. So 12 minutes left in the period. Dermott gets the puck in his own zone in the corner. He throws up, careless pass, really careless, sloppy pass. Rick Nash entering the zone, picks it up, takes to the slot, and Rick Nash, who is the biggest tease in the world with getting opportunities but not finishing, he shoots it and it gets deflected, so who knows if it doesn't get deflected, but I think it hits the Leafs defender, and Frederik Andersen in a good position makes a good save for the Leafs to keep them in this game. The last 10 minutes of the period, for the most part, whereas Leafs controlled, but the Bruins were letting them have what the Leafs had. I didn't really feel like the Leafs had many quality chances in the end. I felt like the Bruins were doing a good job defensively of bleeding away the clock here. Now, the Bruins would take it down to like 2.5 minutes left, and the Leafs would pull their net. And Frederik Andersen goes to the bench, and now they have 6-on-5, and the Leafs are doing a good job of keeping it in the Bruins zone. The Bruins are struggling to get out at this point. Now, the Bruins would eventually get out, and around 1 minute left, David Pastrnak would get a shot on the empty net, and he would hit the post. And I'm always, like, pessimistic with, like, the worst-case scenario sometimes, so I'm thinking, oh, my God, Pastrnak misses the empty net. The Leafs are going to come down. They're probably going to score one here, and then I'm going to be sweating for the final minute of the period. However, the Leafs would come down in our zone, control most of the last minute, but the Bruins would do a great job of playing defensive hockey, and the Leafs would not score, and the Bruins would pull out the 3-1 victory to go up 3-1 in the series. 2 U's, 2 K's, going back to Boston to take down the Leafs in 5 games. I think we have it, guys. I think we can officially feel confident, or at least I can, because up 2-0, I didn't feel confident because I knew we had to win a road game to really say we had a good grasp of the series. Because if you look at some series in the past, you'll see a home team win 2 games and then go and lose 2 on the road. So winning one of these away games was key. That was how we had to win the series. Without Patrice Bergeron, that is big. If I can't imagine being in that Toronto locker room right now, it must be awful because you have a golden opportunity to even the series at 2-2 without Patrice Bergeron in the Bruins lineup, and you blew it. You just straight up blew it. You guys didn't play bad tonight. You guys just didn't put the puck in the net. That's just what it is. Call it like you see it. You guys outplayed the Bruins tonight, and you still lost. Without Patrice Bergeron in the lineup, you're going to probably come in Game 5, and I'd be surprised if you guys win that game. I really would, because momentum says you should lose that game. So if you guys come out and win that game, I'll be a little nervous again. But at the same time, we'd still have to only win one of Games 6 and 7. But so this series is like 95% confident, I'd say right now. And Leafs fans, if you somehow win this series, come back to this video and comment on it and tell me how stupid I was to be confident. But I feel like you guys are probably not confident in your team right now. Anyway, Tuukka Rask had a brilliant night. There was a thing going around Boston media where it's like, Tuukka can't steal a game. Well, I think he stole one tonight, and I think you got to change that narrative. This guy's a fantastic playoff goalie. He just doesn't have the ring, and he gets compared to Tim Thomas, that is, which is just not fair because Tuukka Rask has been a great goaltender, Vezina winner. If you watch him all 82 games, you understand how good Tuukka Rask is, and it's just not fair to give him that label. So the Bruins go up 3-1 in the series, and I'm confident going into Game 5. And I hope you are too if you're a Bruins fans. If you're a Leafs fan, good luck. You're going to need it. So that is it for this episode of the Bruins Fan Review. I hope you enjoyed Game 4 as a Bruins fan as much as I did. If you're a Leafs fan, I'm sorry. I know there's a decent amount of you watching after my trip to Toronto. But that's it. If you liked the video, hit the like button, the thumbs up button. If you liked the video a lot, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be doing videos for all Bruins games and all Bruins topics that I feel are necessary to cover in a video format. And I'll see you for Game 5 on Saturday night, Sunday morning, whenever I get around to filming it. Thank you for the support. I really loved the support on the last video. 1,100 views. That's the most I've ever got on my channel. Hopefully I can keep growing it. And I'd just like to say thank you. And I'll see you next time.